exploding, violence blaring, bullets loading. You're old enough to kill, but not for voting. Don't believe in war, but what's that gun you're toting? And even the Jordan River's got bodies floating. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, how you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? Can't you feel the fear that I'm feeling today? If the button is pushed, there's no running away. No one to save with the world in a grave. Take a look around you, boy, it's bound to scare you, boy. And then you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, how you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. My blood so mad feels like coagulating, sitting here just contemplating. A handful of senators don't pass legislation. Marches alone can bring integration. The whole crazy world is too trust frustrating. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, how you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Think of all the hate there is in Red China, and take a look around to Selma, Alabama. And leave here for 4 days in space. When you return, it's the same old place. The pounding of the drums, the pride and disgrace. You can bury it dead, but don't leave a trace. Hate your next door neighbor, but don't forget to say grace. And tell me over and over and over again, my friend, how you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. How you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. As we turn off the echo, as we didn't do in the last video, we'll do it. This is a retake. My voice cracked a bit. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. This, of course, is the famous Eve of Destruction by Barry McGuire. Many people remember this as a famous anti-war, anti-racism, anti-this, anti-that song from 1965. What a lot of people won't remember is it was written by a professional songwriter called P.F. Sloan out of L.A. That's Los Angeles. The track itself was recorded by members of the Wrecking Crew and recorded in L.A., top session musicians. It was a contrived song. It was well written. It hits very strong. It's been very famous for that. Like I said, I think it was yesterday, that why didn't the Byrds record this song? This was presented to them, and they just said it wasn't for us, which is kind of strange. And maybe that's where you draw the distinction between the folk artists, the ones that go out to Laurel Canyon, and then the ones who are writing protest songs in 1965, appearing on Pete Seeger's show, the Rainbow Quest, I think it was called, the Rainbow something. And you know, some of these other ones, you know, they come across as something other than really war protesters. For example, you have all these ones writing songs like Buffy St. Marie. She had the Universal Soldier that was hijacked by, and I say hijacked by Donovan with all his colorful hippiness. And I didn't see her exactly like that. Maybe she was, but I think that was a serious folk song, and there were other ones. But I don't remember them traveling out there and acting all strange, growing half a beard, just doing lots of strange things, drugs, and just, they don't really actually protest much, but the media says, look, these are the hippies. They hate the war. Look at them. Look at them. They run around the backyard naked. These monkeys. Look at these monkeys. Literally monkeys. And it's played up in Easy Rider. But you don't really have any protest songs. The media takes a song, For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield, and says, oh, that's anti-war. And for years, most people believed that, until it was finally clarified that it was an anti-police song out there for on the Sunset Strip. On the weekends, all these young people would be out there, and the police started arresting them and stopping young people from underage drinking and things like that. And that's basically what that was. But this group, the Byrds, which had no notoriety, had no songs that I know of that they were writing, all of a sudden was presented with a professional song that became a hit. And even after that, they didn't do a cover version of it. They avoid this song. Instead, take a Pete Seeger song, at least one, and some Bob Dylan songs. And that's about it. And Bob Dylan, he's a highly questionable character. Many people have questioned his authenticity and how others he may have copied. I can't remember their names, but there were other folk artists he was hanging around. I can remember some, the Clancy brothers, specifically Liam Clancy. He didn't copy him. He didn't sing as well or play as well, but he hung around with them. He followed them around in Greenwich Village. And as I said, this war protest started off basically on campus. Young people wanted to live their lives. They didn't want to live the life of LBJ. LBJ escalated the Vietnam War after Kennedy was assassinated. Kennedy, by all indications, was pulling back from involvement in the Vietnam region. That might be one of the reasons why he's no longer living. Ironically, the Clancy brothers played in front of him at the White House before he was killed. But why'd the Byrds turn this song, Eve of Destruction, down? So I think there's some I'm developing a theory here that they going off on, inside Laurel Canyon writers, Dave McGowan's theory that the hippies were created to hijack the anti-war protest. Like I said, people, especially when you consider some of the people started going to college when Kennedy was president, and they felt a great amount of optimism with Kennedy, and then LBJ comes in there and escalates a war, starts drafting them. Of course they don't want to go off and fight a war. They want to live their life. That's living someone else's life. That is living the military-industrial complex's life. That's living the life of the pharmaceutical industry, who's going to produce all the drugs that are going to be needed, all the dead bodies. It's a huge system. It's a huge system. And the banks, they finance the whole thing. And they're going to take those drugs and they're going to bring it back here to keep the people shut up. That's what they were doing back then. And they were putting a lot of money into the entertainment business and music, and they were just, these groups were becoming signed to major labels overnight because what they were doing was herding the sheep. They created styles of music for everybody. Styles of music and from every country, every ethnicity. They had music for everyone. And after a while, they started manufacturing the music for them. Case in point, L.A. with the Laurel Canyon music scene, which featured all these make-believe groups and all these songwriters in a team of songwriters in, what do you call them, top-notch session musicians creating the music. And they're just taking young people that they think will look attractive to other young people, herding the sheep. And these are the dogs of war, and they're herding the sheep. That's exactly what they were doing. It was a distraction. And they were putting drugs into the area. So they would, although I should point out, Buffy St. Marie didn't get addicted to codeine, and Graham Parsons actually covered her song, Codeine. So when I say that, oh, she wasn't one of the hippie types, but anyone can get real hippie if someone gives them codeine. Codeine is very powerful. Well, it mostly makes you sleepy. But anyway, back to the people like the Byrds. How many protest songs did they write? They avoided this song, this protest song. Although they did sing Turn, 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 I don't think that's exactly a protest song. It's more or less saying shit happens. Sometimes this is going to happen, sometimes that's going to happen. But they totally avoided the this song. And why? That's what I want to know. They said it wasn't them. But the media presents these groups, these hippie groups, as all being anti-war. I mean, some of them talk it. I mean, someone like a John Lennon will come out and say talk it. But at this time, it was like 66, this is after this, the year after. They're interviewing, you see at 66 to 68. They interviewed the Beatles, John and Paul says, who knows, maybe it was good, maybe it's not. So it's very strange that they would they had like presented in the media all these these West Coast bands as being anti-war. This is the anti-war people, and what's his name, that little short dude that just died, Merle Haggard, he writes a couple songs to take advantage of them. Okie from Muskogee and Fight Inside of Me. Now, when I say about these bands, I'm not exactly saying all of them are part of some sort of conspiracy, an active conspiracy where they're going in a room and they're told what to do. There's a lot of puppeteering, I think. And I'm just wondering the angle behind this Eve of Destruction in this P.F. Sloan. Maybe it had something to do with that, because it is a professional song written by a professional songwriter, played by professional musicians, session musicians. Even another version, when someone else did a cover version of this, they used the backing track of the other one, of the same song. Just changed the vocals. Well, they spent a lot of money on those musicians. They were top notch. But they totally avoided this one.